Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a one brand tutorial using the e.l.f. products from eyeslipsface.com that I purchased recently. I did a haul on them. So everything I'm going to be using is from e.l.f., all the makeup and the brushes as well. I love e.l.f. It is so affordable. I've had many products from them over the years, and some of them have made it into my favorites, and I have many that have ended up being used once or twice and I throw them away. But for the investment, I'll kind of try to mention the prices. Everything was 50% off the regular price when I used it. This is the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. When I bought it, it was a 50% off the whole website sale. This Poreless Face Primer smells kind of bad. But like I said, most of this is the first time I've ever trying it, so I'll try to give you like my honest first impressions. It's kind of like a one brand tutorial slash first impressions video. And then I'm using this corrector, so the color correcting stick in the shade Light Skin Tones. It's like a light medium, a peachy concealer. I feel like this looks just like my concealer shade. It's not like super orangey. Maybe it's too light for me. But I'm just applying that with my finger. I could use a brush. I definitely love e.l.f. brushes as well. Their Flawless Concealer brush is really nice. So that is really slimy, like slippery. So I don't know if it's going to set. I feel like it's going to crease a lot, but we will try it out. Next I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Oil-Free SPF 15. I don't remember what this is called. Flawless Foundation. And let's see, does it have a pump? That is the big test. Yes, it has a pump. Perfect. So I'm going to just squirt some of that on my hand, and I'll apply it all over my face, and I'm going to be using the e.l.f. I don't know what this is called. It's like their foundation brush though. The buffing brush or blending brush, foundation brush, something like that. I am not going to spend too much time on the foundation right now because I am going to be filming a demo first impressions wear test on this foundation today. So I will cut to when the foundation's on. And then if you want to know my thoughts on the foundation or how it held up during the day, then you should check that video. It'll be up shortly after this one. Foundation is on. Now I'm going to be using the e.l.f. concealer. This is the Fairest, what's it called? I have my receipt right here. I bought all of this online. This is the Beautifully Bare Lightweight Concealer in the shade Light Medium. So it's another crayon and it does go up. I think this was anywhere between $1.50 and $3 for me to buy this, so not too shabby. The e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush, I am just gently kind of pushing that into the skin. Again, this product has a lot of slip to it, and so I'm not sure if it's going to crease a lot. It almost feels like it will, but maybe it won't because it's not super thick. It's like a very natural finish, very lightweight. And I'm hoping that with this and the powder I'm going to use, I won't get like those cakey, crepey under eyes that I sometimes get with some concealers. This is the e.l.f. finishing powder in the shade Light Medium. It's a nice compact, actually. This does not look like a cheap compact. And then it's just a pressed powder, and then underneath there is a little pad thing if you want it. What the heck, I'll go ahead and use that today. I don't normally, but. So this is the shade Light Medium. Whoa, that is dark. That's the shade Light Medium. That is way too dark. Alright, I'm going to see if I can like go back in with my foundation brush and try to like make sure that's not there anymore. Oh my goodness, that is really dark. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm using the e.l.f. pointed powder brush, and I'm going to go in with like the lightest coat ever. And I'm just going to set that way. And I'm not setting all over the face. Yeah, that's darker. I'm only setting like the T-zone and the under eyes. That's it. I do have normal skin right now, I would say. I'm not super oily. I don't get super dry. I'm just normal. Well, my skin is normal. Okay, now I'm using this Total Face palette. Beautifully Bare Total Face palette. It's like a quad with a mirror. Really nice packaging. For so affordable. I think I paid $3 for this. It's normally $6, but But it has a bronzer, a couple of blushes, and a highlighter. I'm not going to be using the highlighter out of this palette, but I am going to use the bronzer and the blush. So for that, I'm going to use the e.l.f. highlighter brush, actually, because I bought a separate brush for highlighting. So I'm going to use the bronzer and hope I can contour with it. I think that's pretty. I don't know why I'm even using this. You know what? It's like the same color as that powder. It's very, very fair for a bronzer, but I'm making it work. Just using that same brush down the sides of the nose for a little bit of a slenderizing effect there. Use just a bit on the tip of the chin and the double chins. Now I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. blush brush, and I'm going to use the more peachy blush in this quad. And that is because I'm wearing like a corally shirt. This is really pretty. So I don't know how pigmented this blush is. We will find out. It's pretty. That's pretty. Alright. It looks like it's maybe a satin finish, not completely matte perhaps, but it's a very buildable blush. Like when I first applied it, I was like, where's the pigment? But the pigmentation popped up once I got onto my second layer. And I think it's a very natural looking blush. That's what I like. Is I don't like the ones that people are like, oh, this isn't pigmented enough. I'm like, perfect. Then I love it because I don't like it to be very pigmented. This is that powder brush. I'm just kind of blending those together because I wasn't sure if I went overboard. Now I'm using, this was my most splurgy item. It has a tapered handle and it's their new highlighter brush. And then this is the highlighter in Moonlight Pearls. Really pretty color. That's pretty. This brush is so soft that when I put it in here, I'm like, is it even getting any product? Because this is a baked product, so it's very firm. So I actually like pinched the brush to like push it in there and get it firm, but I was afraid I wasn't going to have any pigmentation, but it is working. I want a precise application. I actually like tell it, okay, squeeze it and get it firm right in that area. So not sure if you like a lot of highlighter, you probably won't like this, but this is one for a bare look, you know, one that looks more natural. Now this is one of my favorites. This was a repurchase. This is the brow pencil in the shade Taupe. It just has like a brow pencil on one side and the spoolie on the other. And I have had this in Taupe before. Right now I have it in dark brown. I repurchased Taupe because, as you'll see, Taupe is meant for like dark blondes or, you know, blondes or people with light brown hair. But it looks really good with my dark hair too. That's it. It just gives my brows a more natural look than using the one that's like brown, dark brown or brunette or medium brown or something like that. This one is more, you know, everyday, when I'm not trying to look like an Instagram model. Not that I ever try to look like an Instagram model, but you know what I mean. This is one that I would wear to like lunch with my dad, who's not a makeup person. He just wants me to look like normal. So it gives my brows that natural look. So I would use the spoolie on the other end of this, but instead I'm going to use the spoolie I bought. This is called the Lash and Brow Wand, and these are $1, and so I got them half off. So these were 50 cents each. And then I'm going to prime my eyes using the e.l.f. eyeshadow primer in Sheer. It does have a doe foot applicator, so that is nice. Just going to blend that in with my finger. And then I'm going to go in with an eyeshadow palette. This is the Rose Gold Nudes palette, Rose Gold Naturals palette. It's a 10 shade palette. I believe they normally run for about $10, so I got it for $5. And there are 10 shades, and I have not even swatched a single shadow. Nude Rose Gold is what it's called. Have not swatched a single one, but they look really pretty. So first I'm going to use the Beautifully Bare Eye Blending Brush. Now I'm going to go in with this palette. I'm going to be using the matte looking, like mid-tone-y, lightish, peachy color. This is the Fluffy Eye Blender Brush. And I'm using that as a transition shade. And you cannot see it at all. I'm looking in my mirror over here in case you're wondering. It like doesn't even show up. Well, I think it does, but it's more of a cool tone, like mauve, than I was expecting. I thought with this being rose gold, it was gonna look more, a little bit more orangey pinky rather than grayish pinky, but that's okay. And then I'm going to go in with the shimmery pink shade on the e.l.f. Beautifully Bare 205 brush. It's just a flat shader brush. And this is a mixture of the shimmery pink and the shimmery rose gold, these two. I'm going to put that on the lid. That's pretty. Not super duper pigmented, but it'll work. I like that. I think it would look really pretty with like a foil look, so I'm actually going to spray my brush. This brush is kind of shedding too. This is the first time I've used this brush. It is, well, actually it's not shedding. There's just like one really long hair that's coming out to here. I don't know what that's about. But this is the e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set. So I'm going to try that. Spraying my brush and see if I can get a more foiled look. That's pretty. You see that? Yeah, I like that. Cool. And then I'm going to apply something to the outer V and crease, but I want to keep it more orangey, more warm. Which shade do I want to use? This is the e.l.f. blending brush, and I'll go into this, the most warm looking brown in the palette. And I'm mixing a little bit of that like coppery orange shade to see if I can't warm it up just a little. And I'm applying that just to the outer V and into the crease. Yeah, these aren't super pigmented, guys. Like if you are used to very pigmented shadows, I don't think you will like this palette. But if you're new to makeup and you don't want like super pigmented, hard to work with, these are actually very easy to work with. So that's at least something. Like if you want high pigment, go for like Makeup Forever, something like that. But if you want easy to work with, easy to blend, not too shocking on the skin, then I would go with these. These are very affordable and do a pretty good job. This is the e.l.f. Eyeshadow C Brush, and I'm just going in with the only suitable brow bone shade. It's the only like white color on that brush, taking that right under the brow bone and on the inner corner of the eye. And I'm actually going to mix in a little bit of the light shimmery pink right next to that color and like put the two together. And try that on the inner corner to like brighten more. The reflective quality really like makes your eyes look bigger. Alright, for liner, this is where I went bold. I bought the Intense Ink eyeliner in the shade Black Navy. So you can't tell, but my dress has blue in it. So I'm wearing like coral and blue. So I'm going to try this. And I'm not promising this is going to be done on camera. Has a very long tip. Do you see how long that tip is? Well, that's Black Navy. What do you guys think of the color? I would say that's a good description. It's not like blue, but it's Black Navy. It's more black, but okay. It was pretty easy to use, pretty easy to make a wing. I like that. Then I'm going to be using the 3-in-1 mascara in Very Black by e.l.f. This is an odd mascara wand. It's like got a ball on the end. Very strange. I have recently found my favorite drugstore mascara ever by Essence, so this one is going to have a hard time beating that, but so far I can tell you it might be lengthening, but it's definitely not volumizing. Like, my lashes still look really fair and fine. Just going a little bit on the lower lashes. Today we are going over to my husband's parents to watch football, so I don't need to be glammed up. Mascara was like okay, but I'm going in with the L'Oreal Voluminous, what's it called? Voluminous Lash Paradise on top, because that mascara just didn't do it for me. I mean, I think I paid $1.50 for it, so it's fine, but I'll show you the difference. Okay, so this is the eye that I'm doing right now. This has that second coat. See the difference? Like, you can see my lashes up over the liner, and on this eye you're like, where are her lashes? I can't tell. So now, would that have worked the same if I just done a second coat with the e.l.f. mascara? Yeah, maybe, but honestly, I could tell you right away I wasn't going to like that mascara. It just didn't add any volume. This is the Day to Night lip thing. It's kind of like those Bite Beauty ones where they had like a lip color on each end. They have around Christmas time. This is the berries, the Best Berries one. I think I'm going to try this. It's more of like a nude shade. Oh, that's perfect for my top. Do you see the color? I don't know if I'd call this berry, but I like it. Very creamy on the lips. Not sticky. Feels thick, but like in a good way. And then I'm going to be using the Mist and Set spray to set it all in place. That spray is intense and it does not taste good. I didn't mean to spray it in my mouth, okay? But it definitely got into my mouth, and I'm not a huge fan of the taste. Alright guys, this is the finished look. As I mentioned, I am doing a review and demo of this foundation right now. This is 7 a.m., so I will check back throughout the day and see how the foundation's holding up. But as far as the brand review or the one brand tutorial, what did I like, what didn't I like, what were some standouts? The concealers did not have a lot of coverage. The finishing powder, it was super dark, and this is the lightest shade. So if you're lighter than me, you will not find a color in that color match in that range. I do like this e.l.f. Quad, that's, whoa, the Total Face palette with the bronzer, blush, and highlight. But if you have light skin, you'll really like it. If you have medium skin or deeper, you won't like it. The eyeshadow palette wasn't super pigmented. It was just okay. I liked the highlighter. It was okay. Didn't like shock me, didn't wow me, but it wasn't bad either. As far as the lip, I love this lip. I think it is probably the standout of this line so far, of the things I tried. The mascara wasn't good. The brow pencil, super duper fan. Like, I would repurchase this in bulk if I had to. If I knew they were going to discontinue it, I totally would. I like it a lot. The setting spray has a very, very strong sprayer. Like, it's intense. So on a summer day, it might be great, but I would stay way away from your face if you're going to use that because it is definitely strong. Eyeshadow primer, I can't say I love it or I hate it. I haven't noticed yet since I just used it if it held up my shadows throughout the day, so I can't really tell you if that was good. As far as brushes go, I really like the shape of this brush. I thought I was going to love it, but it was good for the cheekbones, but it was hard to get like that precise application because it's so soft and so fluffy. It has like no stiffness to it whatsoever. It's just like really loosey-goosey. So I almost prefer a brush more like the small tapered brush for highlighter because then I can precisely tell it where I want it to put it. But I did like the other highlighter brush that I used. I'm looking for it right now. The e.l.f. highlighting brush. This one was really good. So compared to the other one, it's just a little less fluffy. The black one is a little less fluffy, and I like that a lot more. So, very affordable line, though. The eyeshadow blending brush, or the fluffy eye blender brush, is really good. This would definitely battle up with my Sigma brushes. It's very soft. I haven't told you, like, because I can't tell you if it blends, if it washes well, if it sheds or anything, but if it's anything like all my other e.l.f. brushes, it won't shed and it will hold up really well. So that is it for the one brand tutorial. Like I said, if you want to see the foundation more in depth and see how it held up, the foundation is reviewed in a separate video. Thanks for watching. Bye.